Hi everyone! I'm Miss Heather, one of the Youth Services librarians at the Cromaine District Library, and I'm here to share some of my favorite middle grade titles with you. So from September 15th to October 15th, it's National Hispanic Heritage Month. With that in mind, here are some amazing books written by Latino and Latina authors available in our library collection. This is only a small handful of titles, and it was so difficult to narrow down which ones to include. So we'll have a book list available with these titles and so many more at Cromaine. So definitely stop in to see us. All right, so we will go ahead and just dive right in. The first book I want to tell you about is Ana Maria Reyes Does Not Live in a Castle by Hilda Eunice Burgos. So Ana comes from a big family. In fact, her parents always seem to be way too busy with her siblings, and Ana feels like she just isn't that important, even though she's a brilliant student earning A's and awards and is getting so good at playing piano. There is one person she can relate to, her tia. So when the family embarks on a trip to the Dominican Republic to see her tia get married, Ana discovers that everything isn't the way she thought it was, and she begins to grow and change as a person. This was an excellent realistic read that explored sibling rivalry and family dynamics in an authentic way. I loved watching Ana's growth as she learned so many new things along the way, and kids from big families and high achievers will definitely be able to relate to her. The next book I want to tell you about is The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora by Pablo Cartaya. So Arturo is determined to save his family's restaurant from a developer that has his eyes set on destroying their business. And in doing so, the developer will put in something brand new, fancy, and totally different. Will he and his friends be successful with their plans? This was such a great book. I loved the family dynamics, the strength of the bonds between loved ones, and the Zamora's unwavering goal to save their business. This book also made me really hungry while reading it, and I loved that the author included recipes in the back. People who enjoy reading books about the underdog trying to defeat a giant will enjoy this one. All right, so up next is Charlie Hernandez and the League of Shadows by Ryan Calejo. So Charlie Hernandez has always been proud of his Latin American heritage. While he loves absolutely everything about it, he has a really special place in his heart for the myths of the Iberian Peninsula, Central America, and South America, thanks to stories told to him by his abuela. Now, while his abuela always hinted that these stories might be true, Charlie wrote it off as just superstitious, until really weird stuff began to happen, like he began to sprout feathers on his body, which aligned perfectly with one of the myths. So he begins to realize that maybe there is some truth to it after all. This is such a great book, full of adventure. The pacing is just right, there's tons of action, and you will be hooked from the very beginning. All right, so the next one is The First Rule of Punk by Celia C. Perez. So Malu's parents are divorced, and she finds herself moving to Chicago with her mom, far away from Florida where her dad, whom she feels like she has the most in common with, lives. Malu's mom wants her to act like a señorita and to embrace her Mexican culture. But Malu does not feel ladylike at all, considers herself to be punk, and loves working on zines. Will she finally find people who understand her in Chicago? This was a well-paced book, and I absolutely loved that Malu liked punk music. I also loved the zines that she created that were interspersed in the text, as they were fun, creative, and expressive, just like she was. I also really loved the growth she had by the book's end, and the new view she had about being Mexican. This is a great book for music fans, or for anyone who has ever felt like they don't fit in. The next one I want to tell you about is Manana Land by Pam Munoz Ryan. So Max Cordoba absolutely loves stories, especially the legend Buelo tells him about a mythical gatekeeper who can guide brave travelers on a journey into tomorrow. Max is really interested in knowing what the future holds. For example, he would absolutely love to know if he makes it onto the football team he is dying to be a part of. And on a more personal note, He really wants to know if he'll ever meet his mother, who disappeared rather mysteriously when he was a baby. As he tries his best to learn more about his mother, he unwittingly stumbles on a family secret that sends him on an adventure he never could have imagined. This was a super engaging story packed with surprises. Max was a really realistic character, and watching him grow and change throughout the novel made for a really compelling story. All right, so the final book I want to tell you about today is Sal and Gabi Break the Universe by Carlos Hernandez. And this book seeks to answer really big questions like this one. How did a raw chicken get inside Yasmani's locker? So when Sal meets Gabi, unfortunately, it isn't under the best circumstances. Sal is in the principal's office for the third time in 3 days. And just to make it worse, it's still the first week of school. Gabi's also in the office to support her friend Yasmani, who picked a fight with Sal. And they are both absolutely sure Sal planted raw chicken in Yasmani's locker, even though nobody saw him do it, and it had totally disappeared by the time anyone came to investigate. How could that be? Well, Sal is known for being a master magician, but Gabi is totally onto him and his tricks and is determined to prove his guilt. What Gabi doesn't know, however, is Sal's magical ability goes well beyond the ordinary. In fact, Sal can conjure all sorts of things, like bringing his mother, who passed away, back to life from beyond the grave. And there's one big problem. These abilities have the potential to put the entire universe in jeopardy. So if you love Percy Jackson, check this one out. It has tons of action, it's packed with funny one-liners, and it is a super exciting, fast-paced read. We're actually using this book for our very first Tween Book Club this fall, which will meet virtually on September 28th at 6:30. This month, we're actually giving you a copy of the book to keep, along with some fun activities to do at home, and we still have a few spots available. You can sign up at cromaine.org by following the links to our events calendar. If you'd like to check out one of these books, place a hold through our catalog, and we'll let you know when it's available for pickup. Or you can just stop in to see us. You can also send us an email at youthandteen@cromaine.org if you have any questions. We're always happy to help you. All right, so I will see you next time.